Hello, Cherie Hanson here, and Todd. Todd is responding to the only appropriate way to respond on a day like today. It was a Japanese watercolor, fogged in, there is nothing to see here, folks, keep moving reality. Damp, wet, and invisible. Today I wanted to talk about dumb, blind, ignorant, unaware. And this came to me in my meditation, thinking about starting with the thought of why is self-care becoming such an involved, time-consuming task? You know, it's kind of like reminds me of when I was 4 and I was in the hardware store with my mother and she went to buy something and I saw a beautiful piece of variegated crochet yarn hanging over the corner of the counter, and I thought, I want that. And so I started pulling on it and I knew I was stealing. So I was trying to get to the end of it really fast before my mother came back because she is already guilting me out every opportunity she could. And so here I was in this position where you can't win because you can't see the end of the string. So I tried to stuff it in my pocket. And then when she came and I'm walking away, it just sort of like hooked on the ball of crochet thread and started trailing down the aisle behind me. And I was thinking about what you set out to do. You know, when we start, and I look at myself when I was 20 or 30, I was so numbed out. It was like, you know, one of those murder mysteries where you're digging and you see a hand. And so at 20 or 30, I simply did not know the scope of my existence. I didn't know the parts of myself. I didn't know what self-care meant. I mean, I just discovered that I had skin when I was 40. Everybody else is putting skin cream on, and I'm just out there gardening, burning, and shriveling. And so you learn that there are these aspects of yourself. So when you're dumb, blind, unaware, ignorant, you don't know. You don't know the cause and effect. Like, if I drink alcohol, I will break out in a rash on my arms and I will feel sick, and then I'll get a headache and I'll fall asleep. That took me decades to put together. If I eat food that isn't in alignment with my body or my health, I will become close to 180 pounds and stand in front of a mirror hitting my stomach with my fists because I don't know how this happened. I have no idea how I became so deformed out of the shape that I wanted to be or that I had been. So it becomes, you know, I think about this when I had babies. In order to take care of a baby, there's so much planning that goes into it. First, you have to assess what the baby needs. And then, you know, you have to buy support supplies for their physical health and for their psychological health. And when you take them out of the house, there has to be proper support. And I'm starting to feel like that again as I reach 80. And I thought, why am I feeling like this? And what came to me very clearly was because I simply didn't know how to take care of myself in the past. I didn't have parents that showed me intentional living. I didn't have parents that showed me intentional eating and taking care of their spirit, taking care of their creativity, taking care of their relationships. So it was zip, zip, quick, quick. You know, you do what the job tells you to do, because I have to support 2 kids. So the job tells me to do this. I do these things. And that's all I can see. That's all I can articulate. Most of me was like an iceberg. I was under the water. I was under the sight line. You could never know how much there was to me because so much was hidden from me, from myself. And as I step into this next phase of my life, what I find is I'm constantly curious. I'm like, khaki wearing with the big hat, doing a dig and finding bones and brushing them off with a brush and asking the question, what the hell is this? Only it's for my very being. Who am I? What the hell is this? What does it need? How do I care for myself? How can I stay in a place where I'm not ignoring myself, numbing out, walking away from my needs just because it's too much trouble? It's just like, oh my God. I used to think it was like, eat breakfast, you brush your teeth, and then you're out the door. And now it's like, no. You have to sit in meditation. You have to do grounding breath. You take the Wim Hof bath so there's no inflammation in your body. You sit quietly and mindfully and figure out what best serves you and what best serves the world in this day that is about to unfold. And it's not about doing. It used to be about doing. I was like somebody on a chain gang in the South under the hot sun, just breaking rocks. It's just like, yes, sir, yes, master, yes, look at me. And that was because of the way I viewed myself. That was because I was blunt, I was dumb, blind, unaware, and ignorant about what comprises my identity. And so now I begin to see it's a massive responsibility to take care of myself. And I've been entrusted with it. That's what this life is about. Here she is. What are you going to do with her? And so we come to a place where I start to pay attention to what my body is saying to me. My body will say, you're hungry now, or you're tired now, or you don't feel well now. And then I have to take care of that. Or my spirit will say, you've been too disciplined lately. You're starting to feel sad. You're starting to feel that there's no room for your funny, creative, playful, wacky sense of humor. So we have to do something for that. So it's always about readjusting. It's always about paying attention, shifting, getting back into the center, getting back into balance. And it takes a hell of a lot of skill to live that way. And when I look at Buddhist nuns or Buddhist monks, you look at them and they're walking along, and you think, oh, look at them, they're so calm. They don't have any challenges. Yes, they do. Because as soon as your awareness goes up, as soon as you start to understand what the grift is, what the hypnosis is trying to do to you, what the paradigm is telling you about life, now you have to walk this narrow path carefully, slowly, with balance, and not let yourself be swept into some error-filled 3D knee-jerk lower energy response. Now you hold yourself to a higher standard, and that means much more vigilance and much more mindfulness. So for me, I notice that it seems to be making more responsibility in my life rather than less. You're retired. You don't have to raise 2 kids anymore, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going like, oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. I was blind before and now I see everything. And it's just like, I've got my plants. I've got Todd, my teacher. I've got the house. I've got friends. The world is coming in at me with all of these tales of corruption and evilness and just hallucinating the darkness that people are choosing to believe in. And so my path becomes more isolated. I isolate myself more. I study more. I meditate more. I work on my breath more. And I am finding a way to show love to myself and to take care of myself. And man, was I ever bad at it before. It was like crazy. It was crazy. So here I am at 4 walking down the aisle with the pretty thread in my pocket and the ball of yarn bumping along behind me. And I'm just going, oh, I'm just going to be a thief because I want the yarn. And, I can step back and look at that and go, that was guilt driven. That was totally guilt driven. I was imprinted by guilt. I was imprinted by scarcity. If I don't steal that beautiful string, I'll never have beautiful string. Oh God. So I want to share with you this vision that came to me today. And it's like, why does it take so much focus and intention and building atomic habits for me to take care of myself now? Why did it become so big? It became so big because I'm not blind, dumb, and unaware and ignorant about how complex life is. I can see it. And you just stay calm. You just take care of the things that need to be taken care of. You stay grounded. And we live with intention. I want to be whole and healthy and grounded so I can help others. And Todd is very happy in my presence. See, there's evidence. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos if you feel they'll be helpful for others. And also, I would like people who would like a channel psychic reading, Radiant Life coaching to get a hold of me for a session. It's $90 for an hour. I have some links below my video for my poetry book and for my Instagram. Just stay on the path, and other people can do what they're doing. It's time to stop letting them influence us to lower our vibration so we can fit in to a herd that's so lost it's running off of a cliff. Okay. There's so much now I have to think about. That's all right. Thank you. I appreciate you.